What place is overrated to visit? Can't wait until BuzzFeed gets a hold of this thread. Lake Laogai. Like, yeah, it's an honor to get invited by the Earth King, but in my opinion it was 4 stars, not 5. The food was overcooked and bland and the pillow was stone hard and they had nothing softer. Like, of invited I'd go again, I just won't go out of my way to get invited again. Plymouth Rock. The only boat small enough to have landed on it would be for ants. Japan has such a romanticized view of France that they actually have a term, Paris syndrome, for the sudden shock suffered by Japanese tourists when they see that France isn't how they imagined. Someone will think everywhere is overrated. If you check the travel sub and say you're going to a European capital city, it's overrated and you need to go to the countryside. If you're going to the countryside and skipping the capital city, you are missing out because it's a gem. Go where you want. Read up on it so you have reasonable expectations of what you will see though. Boardwalk and Monopoly. Definitely Mallorca. I'm German enough. I don't want to hear 90% German on holiday in Spain as well. The quieter, less central parts of Mallorca are gorgeous, especially for snorkeling and diving, but the Playa de Palma, or at least that part, is horrendously German lol. That wing mural in Nashville, there is literally a line that takes an hour to go take a picture with a pair of wings on a wall. Earth. I live in Vancouver, Canada, and there is a place called Capilano Suspension Bridge. It sounds good but is overpriced and loaded with people. Edit. I'm trying to say that the place is great but not when there is so many people. A good alternative that PPL agree with is Lynn Canyon, which has less people and is free. South Beach, Miami. Overpriced bars and clubs. If you're a dude and you don't have a fine group of women with you, be ready to drop serious cash for a night out if you're there. There are better beaches up and down the coast that won't force you into the terrible traffic and parking SB has. Really only worth it when you had to pay respects to D. Wade the God. I didn't get anything out of Las Vegas. It was cool to see the themed hotels, but besides that it was just an overpriced cultureless soulless city designed to entertain you. Edit. I'm talking exclusively of the Strip. Plymouth Rock. It's just a rock. It's not even a big rock, or a weird looking rock. It's just a greyish lump the size of a beanbag chair with 1620 carved on it. I didn't pay anything to look at it and it still was a ripoff. There's a nice pizza place nearby though. Disneyland. It's just a lot of waiting for shitty rides. Hollywood Walk of Fame. Haven't seen a dirtier road. Bourbon Street, New Orleans. It's really just the same as any other bar district in any other large city around the world. Same old cover bands playing the same old songs that you'd hear anywhere. You can experience all you need just by walking down the street for an hour and not going in anywhere. Frenchman Street on the other hand is absolutely amazing. Everyone should go to NOLA just for that. Edit. I'm not knocking NOLA itself though. That city is amazing and definitely somewhere I'm going to return to next time I return to the USA on holiday. It. Everywhere. The Mona Lisa in Louvre in Paris. It's just a small painting hanging quite far away in a really crowded room full of tourists. Don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful, iconic painting. But it's not worth visiting the Louvre only for the Mona Lisa. The majority of the other artworks in that museum are more impressive than the Mona Lisa. New Zealand. Don't come here. The Little Mermaid statue in Copenhagen. It's just so meh and too far away from the city center, especially if it's freezing outside like the time I visited it. Just get a souvenir or a postcard or something. Copenhagen itself is beautiful though, very highly recommended. The 7 Wonders of the Earth. Venice, anywhere that's being destroyed by tourism. Bali. It was beautiful 10 years ago but now it's been ruined by influencers. Area 51. Mall of America. It's just a mall with a lot of stuff in it. My opinion would have probably be different if I didn't live in Minnesota. If you're in Dublin, stay away from the Temple Bar area. It's ridiculously overpriced and is not at all what a real Irish bar is like at all. Mount Rushmore. Its face is on a rock basically and smaller than you think. UAE. It's the most culturally deficient place you will ever see in your life. Dubai. So now I know everywhere I want to visit is overrated. Hollywood. The most disappointing garbage and piss covered place on earth. Times Square for sure. Although it's cool to see all the lights, it's honestly just glorified ads everywhere you look. There's nothing really special about Times Square. Lots of people, chain restaurants, subpar quality food, lots of homeless people on the streets, and random people trying to sell you stuff as you walk by. Vegas fucking stinks. Toyosu Fish Market. The one that replaced Tsukiji as the fish auction central of Tokyo in 2018. You get to watch the auction process, but only if you go early in the morning. And even then, only through small glass windows 2 stories above the auction block. If there are more than a couple dozen other visitors, you will not be able to see anything. As for a Toyosu dining experience, you're better off eating sashimi and sushi literally anywhere else in Tokyo or in Japan. They mark up the prices at Toyosu more than 300% and claim that these are the original sashimi houses that have been serving fresh fish for generations. Yet the quality is no different than any other restaurant, and the wait times are more than an hour as each shop only has room to seat about 10-15 patrons per shop at a time. Getting to Toyosu also cuts your day in half as the metro route requires you to go several stops out of the normal junior line for Tokyo, and you will need to walk 5-10 minutes at each stop as part of transit. Once at the Toyosu buildings, you will spend even more time walking from the station to the restaurants and auction areas. It is not a convenient place to visit and not very special. I would cross it off any travel itinerary. Edit. As an added note, some have asked if Tsukiji is still in operation. It is. Anyone who has traveled to the old fish market can still have the same experience as many of the vendors. Shops and restaurants surrounding the old fish auction are still in business, minus the fish auction of course. Whatever expectation you have of Roswell, New Mexico, it's worse. Pizza. Besides the small square with a tower where everyone is taking the same shitty joke pic, and guys trying to sell you toys, the rest of the town is pretty shit. You're in Tuscany, go to any small town and you'll enjoy it far more. Four Corners. It's hours away from anything notable and there isn't really anything to do there except a picture and buy Native American crafts. If it's a super popular spot on Instagram, it's probably overrated. Dubai and Abu Dhabi. No salary could make me move there. Brussels. If you're in Belgium, visit Ghent and Bruges. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe.